We certainly have to work together to collaborate. We've been voted by respective parties and our people representing our respective parties in government. But today you work for the people and govern for the good of the people. For us in Imo State, we seek for collaboration and understanding of the federal government with our peculiar situation. A lot of challenges, and so we need support. I'm encouraged by the response he gave, and the government would appreciate, the federal government would support us in ways we are doing. And I am certain that by the time we keep doing things right the way we are, it will enhance the symbiotic relationship between the federal government and the state government. Yes.
Participants of the Nigerian National Defence College Course 27 have presented their report on the Higher Defence Management and Strategic Studies research to the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. In response, the Vice President told the participants that President Muhammadu Buhari is greatly concerned about ensuring the recharging and revitalization of the Lake Chad Basin to effectively tackle the issues of security, livelihood and development of the region. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
A report presented by the participants is titled Water Resource Management and Regional Security, Lake Chad in Perspective. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the issue of the Lake Chad Basin is of great concern to the President, whom he notes has been advocating for the recharging of the basin so as to tackle the attendant challenges. The Vice President observes that their research work has introduced some fresh ideas and fresh thinking into what the federal government hopes to be focusing on in the Lake Chad Basin. The Vice President says Nigeria would have further consultations with foreign partners and friends to tackle the issues in the region that would benefit all. The Lake Chad Basin Commission member countries, Nigeria, Chad, Niger, Cameroon, and the Central African Republic, are collaborating to prefer solutions to security, environmental, and socio-economic challenges as a result of the shrinking of the Lake Chad. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is a regular guest of the National Defence College, making useful contributions to the knowledge of course participants over the last 4 years. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
Let's take some judicial stories now. And from the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja comes a report that the Hope Democratic Party and its candidate Ambrose Owuru have closed their case. Dele Atumbe reports that the petitioners called only one witness to prove their case with a failed intention to call additional witness.
This petition, Hope Democratic Party and its candidate Ambrose Owuru are claiming that in a referendum conducted on February 16, 2019, their party and its candidate polled 15 million votes. February 16, 2019 was the date the Independent National Electoral Commission earlier fixed for the conduct of the presidential election, which was shifted in line with the provision of the Electoral Act. Counsel to the petitioners, Eze Nyalugo, called the only witness that has witness statement on oath. The witness affirmed before the court that during a referendum conducted on 16 February 2019, the party and its candidate polled 15 million votes. In the light of this, the petitioners urged the court to declare their candidate Ambrose Owuru as the president. The petitioners, in their claim, are not contesting the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23, 2019 presidential election. During cross-examination, counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Yusuf Ali SAN, asked the witness, the body that conducted the referendum, a question the witness could not provide any answer to. Akin Olujimi SAN, counsel to APC, and Usman Ustaz SAN, counsel to INEC, wanted to know whether the referendum was conducted in the Celestial Ward, and the witness told the court that it was conducted in Nigeria. The witness told the court he voted in the February 23, 2019 presidential election. The second witness, who was subpoenaed, could not give evidence because there was no statement on oath which he deposed to. The petitioners tendered 15 documents which the Presidential Election Petition Court admitted in evidence. Counsel to the respondent objected to the admissibility of the documents.
23rd presidential election, and he had admitted that. They are not challenging that. They have no quarrel with that. And they are not contesting that they won the February 23rd presidential election. So what are we calling witnesses for? Was there a referendum? Did you do referendum? And they agreed that INEC did not conduct any referendum. And it's only INEC that has the power to conduct presidential elections.
On to Section 2 of the Electoral Act 2010 amended, is actually made provisions for a referendum to be conducted at the instance of the citizens. And it was pursuant to that they purported that the referendum was conducted, and that is why we're in court.
The Presidential Election Petition Court, led by Justice Mohammed Garba, adjourned to 5th August 2019 for all counsel in this matter to adopt their final addresses. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
And Olabode Arewa reports that the Supreme Court has rejected a request that it should review an earlier judgment voiding the participation of candidates of the All Progressives Congress in the last general elections in Zamfara State. Here is Olabode with the rest of the story.
The 5-man panel of justices led by Justice Olabode Rose-Vival dismissed an application by counsel to the APC, Robert Clark, SAN, giving fresh reasons why the Apex Court should take another look at its earlier judgment delivered on Friday, the 24th of May 2019, where the court held that the APC in Zamfara did not conduct a valid primary election and therefore had no candidates. Robert Clark had told the court that some positions in the APC were contested unopposed at the primaries, and the Apex Court judgment should not affect them. This includes 3 senatorial, 2 House of Representatives, and 13 State Assembly positions. The Apex Court in its judgment reiterated its earlier observation that the votes scored by the APC in Zamfara remained wasted since the party failed to prove that it conducted a valid primary. Candidates of the PDP, which came second in the Zamfara elections, were subsequently issued with certificates of return by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Apex Court did not award any costs against the APC. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Still staying with the judiciary, the trial of Senator Elisha Abo on the charge of assault has been stalled due to the inability of the prosecution to serve him with all the materials to be used as evidence in the trial. Senator Elisha Abo, representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, was arraigned before a magistrate court sitting in Zuba in the FCT on a 2-count charge bordering on criminal force and assault on the 8th of this month. But the trial could not commence because the prosecution applied for adjournment to enable it conclude investigation. On resuming the trial, the prosecution again applied for adjournment to enable him comply with Section 350, subsection 2 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which states that the prosecution must serve the defense with all the materials which it wants to use as evidence in the trial to enable the defense prepare its defense and also avoid delay subsequently in the trial. Counsel to the defense did not object to that prayer on the grounds that they would have done the same.
Evidence are electronically generated. They are condition precedent for their tendering. So those things are a little bit distance, and we needed time to get them in order and then front load all our evidence to the defendant as required by the law.
If not concluded their forensic analysis of the video that is trending to know, the authenticity and otherwise. And after doing all that, they need to serve us. So that when they serve us with all the proof of evidence, the statement of witnesses, whatever documents they intend to rely upon, we can also prepare for our defense, and then the hearing will commence.
The case has been adjourned to the 20th of next month for hearing. Stay with us here on NTN Network News. We have more story for you when we come back.
Now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. She now all of us marry them together. When her mama die, she collects money. Her papa die, she collects money. Her mama die, she collects. You remember when she talked, say she wanted her mama dead body. Mama, you too talk. Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine, 40-year-old dead body. Why you they laugh now? Now, try to bring your money.
Mama, no laugh.
Not be you, Jerry. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Well, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make her sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
I can taste the real chicken.
Don't worry, Abba. It's not your chicken.
It's the Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence that gives it the supreme chicken taste. Be Supreme, Nigeria.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, invites all secretaries to state governments, permanent secretaries, heads of cabinet affairs offices in the North Central Geopolitical Zone, consisting of Abuja FCT, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, and Plateau states to the 6th in the series of the regional meeting for secretaries to the state government and heads, permanent secretaries of cabinet affairs offices, which is a follow-up meeting on the outcome of the maiden meeting held in the second quarter of 2019 in Abuja for secretaries to the state government, permanent secretaries, heads of cabinet affairs offices. The meeting is designed to, among other things, develop a synergy between the cabinet affairs offices at the federal and state levels in order to develop a framework for a community of practice. The follow-up meeting is scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Thursday, July 25th, 2019. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Taal Conference Hotel, Jos Road, Lafia, Nasarawa State. Announcer, Babatunde Lawal, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
The Aerial Assurance Challenge.
Oh, thank you. But what assurance can you give our daughter?
Everything. With the new look Aerial, I can even do the laundry.
Prove it then.
Okay. Let's make this stain even tougher. Now, let's wash the cloth. With your detergent and with new look Aerial. Do you believe me now?
Aerial, now in a new look pack.
The Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation is set to review the public service rules. In view of this, all civil and public servants are to visit the website www.ohcsf.gov.ng. Click on Review of Public Service Rules to view and download the rules, study provisions of the rules and leave their comment on identified or obsolete areas for deliberation. Hard copies of comments can be forwarded to the Director, ODD, OHCSF, while the soft copy to fanga.fanga@yahoo.com, latest by close of work on Friday, 26 July 2019. Dr. Magdalene Ajani, Permanent Secretary, Service Policies and Strategies Office, Announcer.
Ronaldo na the highest. Ronaldo na the highest champion. See me on the second. If you check with, look at it like this.
Mini-me, boom! Mini-me, taste the fun.
Does Pick now have Pick 456?
Yes, Mom. It's for Bella.
Why does she have her own milk?
Mama, she's still growing, especially her brain. She needs the right nutrients to help her grow strong and smart.
90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years of life. Like plants need certain nutrients to grow, kids need the right nutrients to grow up strong and smart. Peak 456 with DHA is specially formulated for children 4 to 6 years old to support brain development. Get them ready for what's ahead with Peak 456 with DHA to help them grow up strong and smart.
Now available in new pack and 16-gram sachet.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference.
Yes, difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie Super Pack, now available at 85 Naira. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Thanks for staying with me on NTN Network News. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has attributed the challenges of security in Nigeria's northwest to a deliberate attempt by those who do not mean well for the country to divert attention. Receiving in audience members of the Northeast Alliance for Buhari 2019 on a solidarity visit, the president, however, maintained that there will be no hiding place for the evildoers. State House correspondent Adam Asambo reports.
Members of the Northeast Alliance for Buhari 2019 were in State House to register their appreciation to the governing APC for, amongst others, improving the security situation in the Northeast.
Whoever says Boko Haram is not degraded or security situation has not improved does not mean well for the country. Peace is gradually returning to the zone, and the internally displaced people, the IDPs, have started returning to their towns and villages, most of whom have started engaging in their traditional agricultural activities.
President Muhammadu Buhari said with peace and stability as indispensable to the realization of any meaningful development, his administration will not relent until normalcy is fully restored in the land.
I'm very pleased that you appreciate the efforts this administration has made in trying to consolidate the stabilization of peace in the area. When the Northeast has become too tough, now they create a diversion in the Northwest. But I think this country is big enough and resourceful enough to defend its territorial integrity, and we will continue to do our best.
The president used the opportunity to formally thank his guests for sustaining their trust and confidence in his leadership, saying this will not be taken for granted.
I assure you that the concern of this government is the stability of the country, so that we can have time to improve the economy and to make sure that people that are trusted with the management of the national resources do not disappoint us.
Members of the group, including the former governor of the old Borno state, Mohammed Goni, were full of gratitude to the president for the takeoff of the Northeast Development Commission to respond appropriately to the reconstruction and rehabilitation needs of the people badly devastated by Boko Haram.
In this regard, we shall continue to positively and constructively support all your programs, especially reduction of poverty, youth employment, agricultural value change, and creating harmony among our diverse people.
You have done so much to the Northeast zone that there is no word that is enough to express our gratitude to you. As such, we can simply say thank you.
Formed by members of the PDP and other opposition political parties in the build-up to the last elections, the Northeast Alliance for Buhari 2019 worked for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari towards consolidating the achievements recorded in the Change Nigeria project. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A bit on the legislature now. The relationship between political party and its caucus in parliament is strategic to achieving campaign manifestos. It is in this regard that the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, says All Progressives Congress caucus in the Senate will work in collaboration with its party at all levels. Senator Lawan was speaking when he met with state chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Chairman of the 36th State chapter of the All Progressives Congress on a congratulatory visit to the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan. They advised him to remain resolute in his resolve to build a cordial working relationship with the executive.
Your victory is ours. Your victory on the 11th of June was a victory of all Nigerians who demand productive cooperation between the executive and legislative for the stability and progress of Nigeria.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, emphasized the importance of a rancor-free National Assembly and describing national development as a collaborative venture by all arms of government. He advocated a dispute resolution mechanism that would be proactive and sustainable.
We are one government. We are one people. We have the same program, really. The executive and the legislature in this respect, with dominance of the APC in the Senate, and the executive being an APC administration, we have just one course. We are supposed to have one focus, and we are supposed to have one direction.
The forum reminded the Senate President that independence of the legislature does not mean antagonistic relationship between the National Assembly and the Presidency. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress says its progressive ideology is to ensure that the rule of law prevails in its all affairs and promised not to condone any act of impunity. Saliu Abdullahi has details.
At a press briefing on the lingering leadership tussle at the Edo and Bauchi State Houses of Assembly, the party's spokesperson, Larry Saonilo, reaffirmed the decision of the National Working Committee that the issues among the lawmakers are clearly between the state governors and the rule of law.
I think the media should champion the rule of law. And if the media will champion the rule of law, then the basic questions should be asked. And in the case of Bauchi and Edo, what are the questions? The question is, was there a proper proclamation by the governor over Bauchi, over Edo? Did they do that? If they didn't, then the whole country, championed by the media, should insist on that minimum.
In the meantime, elder statesman Chief Edwin Clark on Edo State in particular notes that the power of the House of Representatives over state houses of assembly is constitutional but must however be exercised with due process.
They should therefore allow the court, which is the case is already in court, to declare whether what the governor has done by through his proclamation is wrong, valid or not valid.
In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has upheld disciplinary actions against National Vice Chairman Northwest Inuwa Abdul Kadri. The party has subsequently referred the issue to the National Executive Committee for further actions. Saliu Abdullahi has more.
The decision of the party was made public through a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary, Larry Saonilu, at the end of its closed-door meeting. In the statement, the party says the decision to uphold the action of the Sokoto State APC organ was due to failure by the National Vice Chairman Northwest, Inuwa Abdul Kadri, to appear and defend himself before the disciplinary committee set up to look into various petitions against him. Meanwhile, reacting to the statement on his suspension, Inuwa Abdul Kadri in a statement said the issue is still pending at the Sokoto State High Court, in which the national chairman and Sokoto State chairman of the party are endorsed as defendants and entered appearances. He said the inability to appear before the disciplinary committee, as communicated through APC Deputy Chairman South, Ni Adebayo, was due to clash in date slated to hear the matter in court. Abdul Kadri therefore says, as a stickler for rule of law, he will remain patient for justice to prevail. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Let's take you now to Bauchi, where the Governor Bala Mohammed has flagged road construction works in 4 communities within Bauchi state capital. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports that the projects were awarded at the cost of over 4.9 billion naira.
These road projects are the first for the government of Senator Bala Mohammed, totaling 13.5 kilometers. The scope of the project is 6.4 kilometers Sabankaura Road, 4.2 kilometers Gombe Road to Meduguri Bypass, 1.8 kilometers Yakubu Mbochi Quarters Road, and 1.1 kilometers Mudalawal Market Road.
This road features a 3-lane road, quite different from the normal roads that
that you see, the normal roads that you see on some days all over the country, they are 2-lane roads.
I want to reiterate that this administration remains resolute in providing umbrella dividends of democracy for the socio-economic benefits of the citizenry, as well as continue to initiate policies and programs that will significantly improve on the well-being and the quality of life of the people.
These routes are expected to be completed by the first quarter of next year. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Now, the Igbo community in Kano has joined other concerned Nigerians in kicking against the call for the relocation of herdsmen from southern parts of the country. As Igbo Kano President General and Igbo traditional leader in diaspora, Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, made the Igbo's position known at a dinner to commemorate his 10th Ofala anniversary in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
Kano is one of the states with high concentration of Igbo community outside the southeastern part of Nigeria. They play a significant role in various sectors of the state's economy. This was the main purpose of hosting the community's leadership to a dinner in honor of Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, the Eze Ndibo, on his 10th Ofala anniversary as President General and Igbo traditional leader in diaspora. The platform was used to re-echo the clarion call for unity and harmonious coexistence among Nigerians of divergent ethnic and religious backgrounds. Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje and other Igbo leaders urged the Fulani herdsmen.
Why those selling their cows should continue? It's only when there is peace, that is when the businesses can thrive.
What people don't understand is that, or don't appreciate, or don't ponder on, is that we are all creatures of God.
Dr. Ganduje described the Ruga settlement project of his administration as part of measures to address some of the concerns related to the movement of pastoralists from one part of the country to another. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sent warm felicitations to former Governor of Lagos State, Lateef Kayode Jakonde, who turns 90. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari congratulated him for courage in pursuing a vibrant career in journalism and leaving a lasting legacy in politics and governance. President Buhari joins family, friends, professional and political associates in celebrating the milestone with the former Governor and Minister of Works, whose sacrifice and large-heartedness saw the implementation of many developmental projects in Lagos, like free education and low-cost housing. The President praised Alhaji Jakonde for his liberal and progressive policies in education and health, which culminated in the establishment of Lagos State University and general hospitals in Bagada and Ikorodu, and health centers that catered for the poor and underprivileged, noting that his leadership style was truly people-focused and divinely inspired to bring succor to many. You're watching the Network News. Let's pause now to join Michael Olale in Lagos for more reports. Michael.
Thank you, Joseph, and welcome to Lagos. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has described the General Overseer of the Four Square Gospel Church, Reverend Felix Medioye, as a leader who radiates the grace of God. He was speaking in Lagos at the public presentation of the biography of the General Overseer. Ruth Ariosamo has the reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said the gospel is better preached by exemplary lives of Christians, and Reverend Medioye is one who has exemplified Jesus Christ.
His life is an epitome of the grace of God. The grace of God, as we all know, meaning the unmerited favor of God in the life of the man.
We all are products of God's abiding grace, but not every human being is humble enough to acknowledge God for His grace.
Part of our aim is to bring righteousness to governance. If we get it right on all of the narratives and all of the things in Lagos, perhaps we will have a very positive correlation for Nigeria.
I say that this is a very good book, well written, well researched, deep in content, and very, very unpretentious.
General Overseer, Foursquare Gospel Church in Nigeria, Reverend Felix Medoye, is optimistic that the book will aid Christians and the clergy balance their family life and work with God. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
The former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, has appeared before Justice Mohammed Idris at the Federal High Court, Lagos, to answer charges leveled against him as a governor. Orji Uzor Kalu, who was the governor of Abia State between 1999 and 2007, is facing a 39-count charge of corruption and money laundering, Abolori Ogbara reports.
1.6 billion naira fraud brought against the former governor of Abia State, now representing Abia Central in the Senate, has dragged on for 13 years. In July 2018, the Federal High Court in Lagos dismissed a no-case submission filed by the former governor in the trial for alleged corruption, where he challenged the jurisdiction of Justice Mohammed Idris to continue hearing the case after his elevation to the Court of Appeal. But his defense team was ordered to open defense. Incidentally, when the case came up Monday, 21st July 2019, his defense counsel, Awal Kalu, SAN, presented a letter seeking an adjournment of the trial based on the fact that he has an election petition trial at the tribunal. The prosecution counsel, Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, insisted on the commencement of the trial, which Justice Idris granted but adjourned to the 26th of August to enable the first defendant, Orji Uzor Kalu, open his defense. Orji Uzor Kalu is being charged for corruption along with his then Commissioner for Finance in Abia State, Uday Jones Udogu, and his company, Slok Nigeria Limited. In Lagos, Abolori Ogbara, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
In this country of party and daily blackouts, your camera, they snap memories, they go. Even though 30 billion not in your account, still, you continue to push and believe.
We apologize for the mix-up there, but let's just take you to Ibadan Network Center to get a few reports from Kemi. Hello, Kemi.
To Ibadan. The Nigerian Air Force moves to partner with the Institute for Peace and Strategic Studies, University of Ibadan, to enhance peaceful coexistence and national security. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar made this known after delivering a lecture at the Institute. The Chief of Air Staff was in Ibadan for the second Distinguished Personality Lecture of the Institute for Peace and Strategic Studies, with the theme, Roles of the Nigerian Air Force in Internal Security Operations in Nigeria. Director of the Institute, Professor Tajuddin Akonji, noted that the choice of Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar as an alumnus of the university was apt for the lecture.
New emerging threats are calling for more action for the security agency, especially the Air Force.
Chief of the Air Staff, who was also inducted as a fellow of the Institute, addressing journalists after the lecture, which was held behind closed doors, noted that security matters need utmost sensitivity, but the force is ever committed to building partnership for lasting peace across the country.
The Air Force is participating actively in all internal security operations, both in the Northeast, the Northwest, and the North Central. We also provide logistic resupply.
The Institute for Peace and Strategic Studies seeks to harmonize the theory and practice of security studies in Ibadan. Kemi Oshin, NTA News. Kemi Oshin, NTA News. And that's it from Ibadan. It's back to you, Joseph, for more on Network News.
Kemi from Ibadan Network Center there. In pursuant of national task to provide alternative energy source towards addressing the issues of power affecting most industries in Nigeria, Greenville LNG has unveiled one of its customer location service center at Dufil Prima Foods PLC complex in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the facility is intended to help Dufil Prima Foods run its production processes seamlessly, devoid of power supply issues.
Established in 2015 by private sector investors, Greenville LNG prime objective is to expand the natural gas infrastructure using innovative pipeline system to deliver gas to locations not served or underserved by the existing gas pipeline network in Nigeria. The objective of this 110 metric tons tank capacity customer location energy facility is to power Dufil Prima Foods PLC Port Harcourt plant.
I commissioned this LNG power plant in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
The unveiling of this energy solution to address the power supply challenge at Dufil Prime Foods in Port Harcourt is one of Greenville LNG's strategy to meet its various customers' location needs.
From now till the time Nigeria will have more pipelines, will have more stable power plants, this project comes very handy in terms of development of the industries.
In the views of the management of Dufil Prima Foods PLC, this project, by implication, is another way of saying welcome to cost-effective production system.
So hopefully if the supply will be steady and there will be no issue, then definitely we will switch over 100% to LNG. But definitely there will be saving because there is a difference in the LNG price and CNG price. Because CNG you spend a lot of money on transport. In this case, you will save a lot of money on your transport.
The Rivers State government and the Department of Petroleum Resources were delighted with Dufil Prima Foods switchover to LNG gas to power its plants, given that it is environmentally friendly but called for maintenance culture. Greenville LNG is one-stop solution providing LNG for heat and processing. The company says it is ready to deliver LNG-based power solution and power lease models for industries with capacities from 1 megawatts to 250 megawatts. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Let's just take some messages. We're back shortly.
It's that time of the year when the young minds ages 8 to 18 are brought together by Digital Peers International on annual ICT-based creative camp and competition. Digitest 2019 will be more exciting, engaging and impactful like never before. The 18th Digitest annual camp with the theme E-Governance Act. Expose your child to cloud-based solutions and how they will help in collaborative governance and business. Make July 28th to August 9, 2019 a worthwhile vacation for your child at Lead Fort Gate College Lekki Ekpe Expressway, Awoyaya, Lagos State. For registration, visit www.digitalpeers.org. For sponsorship and inquiries, call 0807-782-3307 or 0807-782-3308. Email dpi@digitalpeers.org. You can also follow, like, and comment on our social media platform. DPI, showcasing digital excellence amongst youth.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching NTN Network News. The death has occurred of Mrs. Mariam Yunusa, born on the 14th December 1953 in Kulak, Adamawa State. Mariam attended Queen Elizabeth School, Ilorin, before proceeding to Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for a Bachelor of Arts in Geography and a Master's degree in Urban Regional Planning. She was at various times a lecturer in Geography, Planning, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Principal, Federal Government Girls College, Director, National Commission for Women, Commissioner for Works and Housing, Adamawa State, as well as Senior Human Settlements Officer, Regional Office for Africa and Arab States of the United Nations Habitat, among others. A devout Christian, Mariam is survived by her 4 children and 8 grandchildren. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the family of development expert and urban planner Mrs. Mariam Yunusa, whose life and times on earth remain a testimony for the lives she touched and transformed. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity describes her as a quintessential mother, community developer and advocate of good education for children and youth. Believing that her investments as a public servant in Nigeria and contributions to the United Nations will be remembered and appreciated, President Buhari prays that the Almighty God will comfort the family, friends and associates of the departed and grant her soul eternal rest. The remains of Olufunke Olakunrin, daughter of Pa Reuben Fashoranti, has been laid to rest after a funeral service at St. David's Anglican Church in Akure, Olajide Bello reports.
Family, relatives, governors and sympathizers within and outside Ondo State conveyed on St. David's Anglican Church to pay their final respect to the deceased. Extolling the virtues of Olufunke Olakunrin, Bishop Simon Borokene described her as a devout Christian, a bridge builder and a rare gem. The need for more synergy between government at all levels and security agencies was also brought to the fore. Then it was time to commit Olufunke to Mother Earth. From Akure, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Let's just take a few more messages. We'll be right back.
Sound of your shutter hails you as your flash falls on everyday people. In this country of party and daily blackouts, your camera they snap memories they go. Even though 30 billion not in your account, still you continue to push and believe. And that girl, now you go marry her. That business not go spoil for your hand. Because at Union Bank, there's a loan for everyone. Apply today. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
I want to change my car to a better one, and I know one make them do me. I hear say company day, with it help me, so I no need worry. So I go to Cars 45, them don't help me. Now I'm happy. Everybody see anything where you want with your car. Buy, sell, swap. Cars 45, buy, sell, swap. Better value in good time. Buy, sell, swap. All now it's Cars 45, buy, sell, swap.
Cars45.com. Buy, sell, swap.
Relieve tooth sensitivity with Sensodyne Daily Care 40 milliliters for just 350 naira only.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth.
Your hugs are a comfy place for dropping in. For lazing around. And hanging out. So we've designed our hugs to be just as comfy, with a super absorbent cut to lock wetness away and a soft, flexible waistband, keeping baby comfy at every angle. We'll never stop finding new ways to hug more like you. Huggies, your hugs inspire ours.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
And that's NTN Network News for tonight. Thank you very much for your company. From me, Joseph Johnson, and the entire team, good night.